Okay, hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Day-to-Day show. And
Hi guys, hi.
hi. Today, as usual, we'll be getting into a couple of topics, and then if we have time, we'll be going into some Reddit trending as well because we did this, I think, about a few weeks ago. Not a few, actually, about a month ago, the last Reddit trending.
Oh, okay. Was it a month? Wow, okay.
Because
Time
we took a
flies.
couple of weeks off in the middle.
Oh, yeah, we did,
Yeah.
we did, we did.
So the two topics that we're gonna go into today, mainly, the first one is regarding a new law that is being put out by China regarding food consumption, and the next one is about the Apple
Food consumption.
iOS 14.5 update, which is more regarding
Yeah.
privacy, and Sandhika will be diving more into that topic. So let's get on to the first discussion then. Let me share the screen. Uh, okay. Okay, so as you can see,
Yeah, I was also a bit skeptical when you said this article to
mm,
me. But I mean, this is very commendable thing that they're trying to do.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if they
yeah.
actually achieve it.
To be honest, I actually thought about
So,
this like some maybe a couple of weeks ago because it's I was thinking about how we, like, for an example, in the buffet culture, how much people waste food
mhm.
when they take a lot of food. I wasn't thinking in these lines specifically. I was thinking like, because I can't remember the restaurant. There's one in Colombo where they charge for the weight of the food that you get.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
was it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Urban kitchen. That's urban
yeah.
kitchen. So they
So
used to have it. They used to have it. I'm not sure they still have that same
okay.
concept.
Yeah, this
I'm
was
not sure.
few
I haven't
years
been
ago
there
when
in a very long time.
yeah, this was before I left, like, about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So this was the concept that I had in mind, but in the opposite way. So in a buffet, you are allowed to, let's say, have whatever you are allowed to take whatever you want, but you will be paying extra for the amount you leave in your plate when give
Hmm.
back your
Hmm.
plate. So there can be
Hmm.
different levels of
Hmm.
buffet. Level one buffet, which has few
Hmm.
selections.
Hmm.
Level two, which has more selections, and level three,
Hmm.
which will be more premium selection of food. So the buffet prices will be different like this, but the amount you pay for leftovers will be much more on the premium level compared to level one. So something like this, which I had in
Right.
mind. And then I saw this after a couple of weeks, probably, kind of. They put it into
Wow.
action,
Okay.
which,
So
yeah.
so they this so is this already in place, or is it like in the still in the implementation phase?
From They have adopted it, right? Yes, China officially adopted a law against food waste on Thursday.
Right.
Thursday,
So
this was,
this is across. This is not like limited to a state. This is across all of China.
yes, but probably majority
Hmm.
of the bigger restaurants are like activities are in bigger cities, but still it's a China wide
Right.
law, national law.
Wow.
So
Okay.
this, I think, mainly came into, like, people are talking about it on social media that they were targeting
Uh-huh.
like these Chinese. It's called mukbangs, I think the word, where they eat food in front of like a live audience. Mostly in YouTube, if you search for the term mukbang, mukbang, I think
Uh-huh.
you will see people who just live stream eating food, and that's their channel. So
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
the concept behind it was kind of to have someone to share your time with while you're eating food. This is how it started. And for the
Right.
viewers, it's like you see someone eating food and maybe it gives you some sort of satisfaction, I don't know. And now
Mm-hmm.
it has
Mm-hmm.
become more of I mean, a business. As YouTube became, the careers YouTube careers became, for most people, what they do is they bring a huge amount of food and they eat all this food for a very long time in the channel. And it's not, apparently it's not properly eating food. Some of them, like, they eat food, and you can apparently see the video cutting away from the bite. So these people actually take the food into their mouth and throw it away, and they only edit it so that you see them eating food. That's one type. And there's this other type who actually eat a lot
Right.
of food
Oh,
and they throw up the food after they eat, and they continuously
like
keep
the
it.
Hunger Games, the Hunger Games.
Yeah, like the Hunger Games. And there are people, I mean, there are people who have, I can't remember the exact term, there's this condition that they, uh, there are
Oh,
people who
the
eat
yeah,
food,
some
right, and
people
then they throw up and they eat again.
anorexic.
This
Is it anorexic? I'm not sure
anorexia,
whether it's
no,
anorexic. Why?
was it bulimia, bulimia or something like this. um
Oh, right. So anorexia. So yeah, maybe people with
anore-
this condition can be anorexic. Anorexic means you're like very thin. You
yeah,
don't eat.
anorexic is when you're
So
really thin, right? You can't consume food or
yeah,
something like that. Bulimia. Let me see if I typed it correctly.
DuckDuckGo. Let's
Maybe,
see how well DuckDuckGo does.
right?
Bulimia
Yeah, yeah.
is an
So
eating disorder characterized by binge eating followed by purging. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So this
So it's
is
a disorder. Okay.
yeah, it's a
Wow.
disorder. I mean, this is the what they're doing on video is not, maybe they have the disorder or maybe they get it after they do this for a long time, but it
Mm,
is a condition. It is a disorder that people have where they consume a lot of food and then they purge it or throw up and then eat after that. And some people actually get this after a lot of continuous
wow.
dieting as well. They can't eat food, and this happens to people
Right.
when they continuously, like, heavy diets, which they, like, it's
Right.
short term diets, not like continuous slow diets, but it's like if you go into a very heavy diet very quickly, this happens to people, from what I thought. So
Okay. Wow.
so yeah, it's also one of the main things, as you can see in the title, binge eating, excessive leftovers, like food waste. So binge eating has been a problem
Mm-hmm.
because of these videos in China, and the
Mm-hmm.
culture started
Mm-hmm.
in China, and I think it's also there in South Korea and maybe in Japan. It's something in that region, but mainly started in
Mm-hmm.
China.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the targets. And then, from as the article said, yes. So this is how they're planning to charge
Binge
them.
eating videos.
Yeah. So
Hundred
let's,
thousand. That's 15. Is it? That's 15,000, right?
yeah,
fifteen
yeah,
thousand
yeah, roughly
dollars. Oh
fifty
my
thousand
god.
$500 for people who distribute binge eating videos. And then for leftovers, from ten
A
thousand to
large amount
fifty
of food. So
thousand.
they haven't specified what the large amount of food is, right?
Yeah, they haven't, I think. So
Okay.
but
I
it
mean,
it it seems
like
that a lot of people are
this
actually
is
appreciating. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So this is actually pretty. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, I don't think as I mean, not just a nation, like as the world really doesn't have a food producing issue, right? I think
Yeah,
we do produce food. um, I mean that can be consumed by everyone. It's just a matter of that it just gets wasted, and some of it is sent to people who don't really need it, right? And people who really need food doesn't. So that's a totally different issue. But I mean,
yeah.
you can. This is a sort of what do you say? A symptom of the excessive food that we have, right? We have
Yeah,
food in excess. We have stuff choice. You can just go into a supermarket and buy
yeah.
it and you will know. But some majority of the people don't really have that thing to do. So I mean, this is something we should. I mean, at least Sri Lanka should look at as well, I guess, because
Yeah. I mean,
as you
I think
said,
this is what China has
yeah, go
also
ahead,
been
go ahead.
saying, I think, because they some of the people are saying China is not under a food shortage, but again, they have a very huge population, and it can become an
Mm-hmm,
issue in the future, and they are taking steps to
mm-hmm,
stop it right
mm-hmm.
now. As you can see, like I highlighted
Yeah.
the sentence, like approximately 18 billion kilograms of food wasted
Wow.
every year in China.
God,
Yeah.
urban
It's a big
catering
country.
industry.
Only the catering
Oh
industry,
wow,
urban catering industry. So okay, yeah. So that's probably a lot higher if you think of personal usage and every other
Wow.
consumption.
18 billion kilograms. Wow.
I don't know how what's the consumption of
So
food in Sri Lanka. It's probably less than this, but
it's probably I mean probably 18 billion concern. You can probably feed the whole population of Sri Lanka for about 2 years.
yeah.
I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
You might be able to. So I mean that's what I'm saying, right? I mean, this is not just a problem in China, right? So in the States, for example, like there's massive. I mean, I think something like 1/3 of the food gets so this is produce, right? So I'm talking about produce, like so let's say vegetables and all that. That also gets so that's not prepared food, but still, I mean that's very bad as well, right? So it gets wasted. Like, I think it was 1/3. I'm not too sure about the figure.
The US
Gets
also is
wasted. I mean,
very famous for their large food
just
portions.
thrown away.
Yeah.
They are. Oh wow, dude, them. So yeah, just on that, I don't know if you have mentioned this in the vlog earlier. So there's this thing, there's this channel I watch, Food Insider. So they do like a comparison. I think yeah, McDonald's comparison. The between the UK McDonald's and the US McDonald's. So the US McDonald's small drink is larger than the UK McDonald's large drink. Right.
Yeah.
So it's the disparity is massive. So they have massive portions, and they have rampant food wastage as well. Right. So yeah, food wastage also. I mean, I've read this thing recently. Food wastage. I mean, as long as food, the wasted food. Let's say, for example, if you produce, I mean, of course, you can't really perfect. You can't really make it zero. Right? There's always going to be an excess that you're going to produce, right? But what matters is what you do with that excess. Whether you take that excess food and maybe pump it to let's say the farms and feed the animals with that. I mean that's still fine, right? You're not wasting the food. So again, so then the animals are fed properly. You don't need to sort of create feed for them separately. I mean that cycle, that you're closing that loop essentially. It's not just going to waste, because if you let it go to waste, it's just sitting somewhere rotting, and it's just adding more yeah. Oh, there you go. That's 6. I'm not sure how ounces work. What's the conversion is to milliliters?
Let me see.
Come on, man! You bloody switch to metric already. Got that? So just to rant about that, there are 3 countries in the world who use metric, right? Who don't use metric. Sorry, the US, Liberia, and Myanmar, right?
Oh my god.
So 16 hours is 5. Dude, that's what, like half a.
Wow, this is the small one. That's like almost 500
That's a small one. Right?
milliliters.
So 30. Yeah, it's a half a liter.
Is this correct?
So of course, I mean, you probably don't get 30 is almost a liter.
Yes.
How can you drink a liter of what? So the maximum I can drink is like the small glass, right? So that's about what 200 milliliters.
Yeah,
Then that's it.
250.
I'm done. I can't probably
Maybe. Yeah.
half that.
So
Maximum,
Hong Kong also has larger sizes. It seems. I mean, the initial only the first and the last one. Australia also has compared to large sizes. Japan, very smaller sizes. I had to actually compare how it is in Sri Lanka, but it's definitely not this much.
Yeah, definitely. So, dude, I'm definitely sure we don't get 500 milliliters even in the last week. I'm 100% sure.
No, probably
100% sure.
Probably 300
when
400
you say,
maybe.
400 milliliters. 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 4 Yeah, but it's still, I'm saying it's smaller than the small of the US. I'm 100% sure. I'm
Smaller
fairly
than
confident on
yeah,
that.
yeah, right. It's still smaller than the smaller one of USA.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, so I mean, I'm just let's since it
Yeah,
started
yeah,
about
yeah.
this whole
Metric
food wastage
system.
thing. Um, about restaurants, their main money make is not really food; it's the
Mm-hmm.
drinks. So drinks, they have like massive margin. So the cost to produce like 100 milliliters of this is in like cents or something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like really cheap to produce this drink,
Mm-hmm.
but they charge about they have the 300%, 400% markup so that they get the profit out of it. So I mean, it you might think if they're giving away free drinks, but
Mm-hmm.
they're actually not,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, it's a massive cheap, and they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
mind,
yeah,
bumping, showing that you get a lot of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
bang for your buck. Like you get a lot of bang for your buck, but it's actually not. It's actually they're the ones who's winning in the end. So yeah, so that's that. So I mean, the portion sizes tend to. I mean, it's sometimes I get. I mean, I opt to not to get a drink sometimes, right? Even though okay, if I go for an offer, I don't really care about the drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go. So recently I bought this offer from McDonald's. It was like some crispy chicken burger and 2 wings for $500, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
get a drink as well, right?
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want the drink. And he's like, that's a take this then yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't want it. He said he insisted that I take it, and I took it in the end. I mean, like, I don't want it, right? It's just the waste of, because I don't drink, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah, exactly. Even I
usually
wouldn't
drink.
take like I've stopped
So,
like cutting down
yeah,
on all
anyway.
the sodas.
So,
With the
sodas
US,
are really bad, man.
why are they so stubborn on keeping the like their metric system metric, right? Yeah.
Ah, so it's like this, right? I mean, there is some logic to it. It's going to be now. Okay, US is not a small country by any means.
Mm.
There are 300 million people living in the US, right?
Difficult to change that.
So and they've sort of the metric system is the imperial system is sort of embedded in the heads, right? So
Mm.
it won't be an overnight switch
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So it'll have to happen slowly, bit by bit, right? Maybe it'll take about another 50 years, maybe another
Yeah.
generation, so that the new generation would sort of work in the metric system, and then sort of
Yeah.
so it's going to be a slow time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
always fun to make fun of the US about
yeah.
them not using the metric system, but I mean that's the reality, right? It's the
Mm.
reality. It's not as easy as it
But when it comes to the two systems in Sri
sounds.
Lanka, we've been using both systems, right? Like, is this because of the influence of
Uh,
we haven't been
Not
using, let's say, we haven't been using
really.
ounces and pounds, but when it comes to, let's say, centimeters and
Uh-huh.
inches, we've been using both. We use miles and kilometers both. We in that aspect
So
use
yeah,
both of them.
I know what you're saying. So even still my dad says distances in miles, not kilometers.
Mm.
But I mean that's gone, right? So everyone in our generation never says with this many miles. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah, yeah. We
kilometers, right?
never now we don't say
Um,
miles. Yeah.
we don't never say miles. So probably in when it comes to why we use inches is probably because some of the sizes are standardized in inches. So, for example, your shoe sizes,
Uh huh.
it says 11, right? So I think
Okay.
it's 11, about 11 inches, something like that, something to do with that.
Mm.
Waist size again, it's measured in inches,
Mm.
right? Because those are like standard size. Like so, you said
Okay.
35. You know what the 35
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, thing is, right? I mean, it's sort of so. That's sort of fine, I guess, because it's not like you're calculating anything
Mm.
important. That's just your waist size or something. But when it comes to distances and stuff that matters, it's relatively easy, right? So it's
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, distance especially, and small distances like centimeters when you're measuring out the house and all that. Oh yeah, but that's still in I think it's you're quoted for square foot, right? Not for square centimeter
Square foot, yes,
or
like
square meter.
for construction
Yeah,
work.
yeah, it's against square foot. Yeah. Okay. Wonder
Yeah.
why that is. maybe the
The square foot is
construction
smaller.
guys
You
didn't
can
want to.
charge higher than, square meter. Then you'll have to increase prices if you're going for a square meter, and then
Right.
it because it's
It,
again it's
isn't
again the mindset, right? People they won't they like it's similar to what happened with the gas prices in Sri Lanka. Uh,
Oh man, that
right?
was just sad. Oh God. Oh, so they reduced the gas prices. They reduced it.
Yeah.
Wow, that was just.
Yeah, it's
No,
yeah.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Yeah. So that
Uh,
will happen if it's gonna happen. So if they go into square meter, the prices will have to increase dramatically. It's probably gonna
mhm.
be
So no,
four five
I think
times higher.
why. Yeah. So what I think is why I think this is because as far as I know, when it comes to taxation,
Hmm.
right? Taxation also happens. You need to pay. I mean, there's like some land tax or something that you need to pay
Mm.
every year for the house for your house you're living in or
Oh,
something like that, right?
yeah,
So that is measured again in square feet. So that's like the government measure. So I'm guessing it's
yeah,
easier
yeah.
for everyone to just follow that,
Mm.
right? Because it's that's a government set standard, so
Yeah,
it's just probably following that.
that's
It
the
could be that,
problem.
I don't know.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Like, if,
So
for an example, in Sweden, it's completely in metric. It's like everything is done in square meters,
right.
kilometers, centimeters. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what inches are of feet.
So,
Yeah, most of them. Okay. So shall
right.
we
So
get on to
anyway,
the yeah?
coming back to food, I want to talk
Yes.
about a few things though.
Uh,
So I mean, this whole food thing, I think it's something that we should look at as a country because
hmm.
uh, a lot of food goes to waste here as well. I mean, if you
Yeah.
go to any buffet, any wedding buffet, you
Hmm.
can see people just pile on
Yes.
like loads and loads of food. I mean,
Hmm.
that's totally fine, right? We don't judge you for not for
Yeah.
piling on food. It's just that we'll judge you for not
Eat
eating it,
it.
right? Right? Eat it, man. I mean, pile on everything. I don't
Yeah.
care. Just bloody
Yeah.
eat it,
Just
finish
take how
it.
much
I
ever
mean,
you want
that's
and eat
fine,
it.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just get how much you want to eat and just eat it. That's it. I mean,
It's just
that's
that
fine. I mean, that's
it's
totally
just
fine.
in the it's culturally people are hesitant to take small amounts and go for another round. It's this.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's
that's
the
yeah, that's probably there as well. Yeah, that's probably they
yeah,
want to go in for. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's just that's where culture has negatively
yeah. That's
impacted
that's a problem as well.
food.
So people just put on like, okay, I'm not gonna maybe
Mhm.
finish it, but I can't go for another round. I'm just gonna put how much ever I want.
Okay.
And yeah, but
So
yeah,
as far as I know, all the food wastage, not all probably, but most of it actually goes to the farms, especially the pig farms,
okay.
right? So
So like
that becomes
fertilizer.
turned into pig feed, and yeah.
Okay,
So
okay, okay.
I mean, that's also fine, but I mean, you shouldn't waste food in the first place,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's what I think. As long as it gets recycled, it's fine. Uh, it's just that we need to close the loop there, right? I mean, it's
yeah,
just that
yeah,
as long as our food is eating our food waste, that's fine.
yeah.
So eating, so it could be animals, or you can use it easily as fertilizer
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
as
As
well,
long as
right? I
it's
mean,
not going
it's
to a
bio,
landfill,
it's not
it's
nothing
yeah,
toxic or anything.
yeah,
Exactly. So if you separate that out and just send it out to farmers, and I mean that should relatively be possible, right? Because it's not like you have to it's not like recycling plastic, right? I mean, in plastic, if it's like even slightly tainted, you can't really
recycle.
recycle, take it out and recycle it, right? There are certain, sorry.
No, no, good, good.
So I
There's a
think
small
there
delay.
was a small break.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So I mean, it's not like plastic, right? You don't if plastic, if it's dirty, I mean the recycling cost goes up massively, and it's not worth recycling anymore. But with food waste, I highly doubt that's the issue. I mean, it's just food, right? You just need to take it, and it's biodegradable. You put it somewhere, make it to compost, send out that as the fertilizer, right? I mean, we got the fertilizer right there, right? And again, it's about logistics. It's about getting the food to the people that want it, the people that
Mm-hmm.
need, not want it necessarily, the people that need it, not want it, need it. Um, okay, what is that
I just
we have
searched
here?
for food waste in Sri Lanka and I found a PDF. Is it
So
just
I
a
mean,
framework? Yeah.
it's probably just framework, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
List of figures
So I
and
mean,
tables. Oh, okay.
because I mean, we can't afford to. Uh, I mean, we can grow almost anything here, right? I mean, we don't have to
Yeah.
depend on other countries to do that. We if we just look at this sector a bit, maybe a bit more in depth, we can probably figure something out. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's see.
Yeah,
Should
hopefully. I
be
mean,
able to.
like it's we're not. I don't think food waste is a very big issue still in Sri Lanka, but it it might be there in maybe, let's say, urban areas more,
Hmm.
because of
Hmm.
the ways of preparation, the crowds, having more
So
restaurants,
no,
everything.
Masang, you can't. So probably food wastage. When I say food wastage, probably food waste is still not a massive issue, I guess. But when it comes to wastage of fresh produce, that's
Oh
still
yeah, 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 yeah,
an
yeah,
issue. So I
yeah.
saw like recently because they've closed down the Damulla Economic Center because of
Yes,
COVID.
yes, I also saw.
I mean, the farmers are stuck with the
Mm.
like gathered the harvest, but they can't really sell it anywhere, right? So, I mean that because you can't if you don't get a way to get them to people, you're
Mm.
gonna have a massive problem. It's not just gonna the farmers
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
suffer.
yeah,
It's just gonna be the people as well, right? Because
yeah,
they won't have food, and with the whole COVID situation, with you not being able to go out, I mean, it's just gonna get worse. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna snowball into
Food,
this
yeah,
massive problem.
yeah. The fresh food's gonna go into waste. Food prices are gonna go
Yeah,
up, and
exactly.
next that's
And then we're gonna have to import it, right?
yes.
When we have a shortage, then it's just gonna
We can't import anything
crash
at
the
the
rupee.
moment.
We have no leeway to import anything, man. We are just screwed.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So it's a lot of mess. It's a messy situation, and like the people are just. I got some. I remember remembered something that my mother said about recently about turmeric. I think yes, turmeric. So apparently the turmeric that are being sold right now, like not the dry ones, the fresh
mhm,
turmeric, you can't
mm,
plant them and grow them. They have added something to the roots so that you can't actually cultivate them. I'm not sure how true this is, but apparently you can. I mean, you can definitely get the fresh turmeric and dry it and use it, but you can't
uh,
plant this. Like for an example, ginger. If you get a piece of ginger and if you put it, it grows. Like it
right,
like similar to a potato. If you keep it in a moist environment, it starts growing like on the potato.
right,
The
right.
ginger also does the same way. Apparently turmeric also, if it's fresh, it has to grow like that, but apparently none of these things grow. Like they just dry out and yeah.
Wow,
So uh, yeah, that's also, I mean, just something that came to my
that's
mind, like
sad.
when you talk about
So,
fresh food.
okay, wait. So, I'm guessing. So, my mother started growing turmeric. She probably got it off some. I think she went to some. So they have like the agriculture department. They have
Yes.
certain samples that you can get.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he probably got it from there, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Those things are
So
probably okay because it's supposed to grow.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but these are commercial, like these are
Wow.
things that you can get like from like merchants, like fresh turmeric. So yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
let's get on to the next topic. Then we are going to talk about something. You can begin with it. I'll search for the article.
Right. So we want to talk about this whole thing that is going on these days, Facebook versus Apple.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk
Uh,
about it.
that's a topic we want to talk about. So that's mainly due to this particular update, right? iOS 14.5.
Mm.
So I'll just tell you what that does. I mean, it does like certain other, it adds emojis and stuff like that, which no one really cares about. But what it what it adds to, the main feature that it adds to, it sort of builds upon a feature that these guys added in back in when they launched iOS 14. So
Mm-hmm.
when they launched iOS 14, you were able to keep a track of all the apps that have requested for your tracking ID,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a tracking ID is sort of an ID that's given to, I'm not sure how it works in Android, but I'm probably sure something similar, but how it works in iPhone. So an iPhone has a particular ID that identifies your device in the internet, right? So whenever an app requests it, the phone gives the app, and you're able to relate the actions that are happening on the screen to that particular ID, and based on those actions, the advertisers, whoever is advertising, can serve you an ad, right? That's how it works out. So what Apple did was, first of all, by iOS 14, they just gave you the opportunity to see who had asked for it, right? And if you wanted to, you can go into it and sort of block it off. But now what Apple is doing is, right, so they're actively asking the user, right, whenever a tracking request comes in, right, that okay, this app wants to track you. Do you want to let it? Or it's a very simple question, right? So we are not saying, some people actually like getting personalized ads, right? There's no issue like that. But they need to understand that in order for someone to do that, they are going to have to track you, everything that you do sort of online, and sometimes even offline, right? So if you're okay with that, you can say no problem, go ahead. But if you're not, you can just go and say, do not track, don't let that track. So the issue there is, what most people are predicting, what they're predicting that most people will do is ask the app not to track, right? And that's gonna hurt the revenues of people who depend on advertising, mainly Facebook, right? So Facebook apparently tracks, so Facebook Messenger specifically, right, tracks. So if you go into their like sort of app, so let me see if I can find that.
Okay, I might be able to find a screenshot for this as well.
Messenger. There we go. Okay, is it possible for me to share my screen?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, only you can share.
Okay. Let me find this. There should be iOS.
Well, there should be enough and more screenshots of it. So I'll just read it out just for. It says so it says purchase history, location, precise and cost location, contact information, physical address, email address, name, phone number, other user contact info, contacts, photos or videos, gameplay content, other user content, search history, browser history, user ID, device ID, product interaction, advertising data, other usage data, diagnostics. So diagnostic testing, that's fine, right? That's just tracking a lot of data. So what it's apparently tracking our health and fitness as well. But that's for analytics. I'm not sure how that really works out.
Like I found a screenshot. It's not actually very good quality, but you can see the amount of data that they collect in Facebook Messenger compared to the other applications.
Right. Yeah. So Signal. Yeah. Signal only has a phone number that's being you. That's it, right? So yeah, Facebook Messenger is So I don't have Facebook Messenger on my phone. I just have it on my iPad, but that's also. I don't use Facebook Messenger at all. I rarely use Facebook. But
like same here, I uninstall like both Messenger and Facebook apps from the phone, but obviously they still collect a lot of information through Instagram as well. It's if you go and check from your phone, you'll probably see, like, I haven't gone and checked on how Instagram is collecting information, but that also does take a lot of information comparatively, I think. The only thing is, if you have a Facebook product installed on your phone, it
Hmm.
can, because they create a profile around your Facebook. Your Facebook profile is the center point of most of the data. Even if you don't have a Facebook profile, they create it separately. But if you have a Facebook profile, it's centered around that profile itself. And something that I how do you say, I watched this movie called The Circle recently, like yesterday, was it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched this movie? It's Emma Watson is
Circle? No, no, I haven't.
starring in the movie. It's a movie about a social media company and how they collect information to provide different services. So it's essentially, let's say, it's Facebook, but on a very massive scale. They go to a level of, let's say, making their social media account mandatory to vote within the country. So every voting citizen needs to have this account, to vote through the system itself. And the idea is because it is the social media is called, I think, True You. And they're supposed to have only one account. Based on proper identification, their personal identification data is checked, and it's based on your true data. There can't be any fake accounts, so it's one account for a
Mm-hmm.
person, and it's based on your true identity. So if this is validated through different things, they are suggesting, okay, these kind of services should also be provided through the platform. So they make it like, uh, they try to give everything through the social media itself. And they show what kind of problems can happen because of it, of let's say, being online on the platform 24/7. Like a person live streams their life through the platform 24/7. And what kind of problems can happen because of that. So it's a nice story. It
Sounds
goes
like
to
sounds like an episode from Black Mirror.
yeah, it goes to an extreme, but it's a nice story. uh, it didn't get a good ratings on the Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, and the IMDb rating was something 5 point something, but Rotten Tomatoes
Right.
22% or less. But it was okay. It wasn't an exceptional movie, but it was a good movie. And if you watch it now, it
Right.
resonates more because you've been hearing a lot more about social media and privacy recently.
Uh-huh.
The movie was released in
Uh-huh.
2017. I probably wouldn't, even if I
Right.
watched it back then, it wouldn't,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't that bad back then, right? It was
yeah,
still, there were some issues, but I mean, issues
yeah.
probably got aggravated probably towards the end of 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
More
and
2019
with
and
the
20.
whole countries blocking off social media and
Yes.
not so yeah, so that received some attention, but I mean that was for, again, I mean, they blocked it off because Facebook wasn't really looking into their what do you call, taking down posts fast enough that were not
Yeah.
in the standards, right? So app tracking transfer ATT, yeah, that's what it is. So I mean, so it's also, Apple has been some people say that they are just doing this to seem
Yeah.
like the good guy, because they are also in some trouble as well
Yeah,
for
yeah,
being
they are.
anti-competitive.
They are.
So
Yeah.
you probably heard of Epic Games, and they are sort of
Yeah.
going on a battle with
Yeah.
them as well.
Apple paid
So
a certain amount to the EU courts recently, or like they're supposed to pay. They lost another case in the EU courts recently, an antitrust case
uh-huh.
that was regarding Apple Music, because they're charging
Oh,
30% for Spotify subscriptions through the Play Store, sorry, App Store,
right.
the Apple App Store. But for the Apple Music, they don't have such issues, so they are earning more
Oh yeah.
than their competitors on the platform. So it's anti-competitive on that sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they I mean, they're a business, right? They, of course, gonna
yeah.
do some
So
shady stuff
they
themselves as
so
well. They're
yeah,
not.
so they were fined for
Uh,
this on the EU courts recently.
how much did they find? They were finding billions.
Let me check. I'm not sure.
Still, dude, they have like cash. That's probably just
Yeah.
not even 1% of the cash reserves. Cash reserves, not even revenue, right? Cash reserves.
These guys, let me check.
Well, you break
Yes.
comparison rules. Oh, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it has a monopoly distribution music streaming owners. Yeah, I mean that's kind of true. Um,
Yeah. There's no
Apple has been
yeah, go.
sort of pushing this whole. I think
This
they're,
is
they're stuck a bit.
yeah. So that
Yeah, I
part,
just
I
got.
don't, I think they still haven't
Yeah, I
been
didn't.
fined. Yeah.
Oh, right. So it's just that they've been accused, so they're probably just working out how much they're going to find, right?
It's here,
Oh,
it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here, it's here.
oh,
The you, oh,
13
no, this
billion
is an
euro.
older
Oh,
one. This is an
what?
older one. Yeah.
As an older, unpaid taxes after the that I got undue tax benefits. Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, there are. I mean, yeah, there. Some might say they are doing this just to hide some of the stuff that just to appear as a good guy. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's it was Steve Jobs who has been saying this for a long time right now.
Mm.
Um, uh, he's always been saying that privacy. It's fine, right? Your privacy is your choice,
Yeah.
right? If you want to give off your data, that's fine. That's up to you. But you have to communicate when you're using that person's data
Mm.
clearly to that user, so that that person has a choice. I mean, that's it. There's a lecture, uh, not a lecture per se. It wasn't any. It wasn't a product. Uh, he doesn't say it in like a product discussion or anything. It's some. I think it was a. I'm not sure whether it was an investor meeting, but yeah. So that's that. So I mean, he's been saying it for a while, and I think
Mm.
what uh, Tim Cook is doing is just putting that into action and
Yeah.
sort of
Like
getting on it.
this is my issue with, for an example, WhatsApp, because they are privacy policy recently. I think the deadline is coming on 15th of May. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah. So for
There
them,
there
it's
is
a do
no
or
opt out.
die. It's like either you accept or quit. There's no choice for people to say no. I don't
Yeah,
want to share my
yeah,
data. And
yeah.
even I think a few countries are fighting against it. If you saw my Instagram stories, I shared like
Yeah,
India
yeah, yeah.
is going very heavily on it. They
Hmm.
are investigating and they are trying to go through why they are introducing this new privacy policy. And I think Germany was the other one who was actively trying to stop. But in EU itself, they have given the people to opt out if they want to. Apparently, I
Oh, right.
yeah, I saw a news saying
I
that they
mean,
have.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine, right? I mean, you just have an opt out. That's it.
yes, exactly. The
If you
in
don't
EU they
want
are
it,
giving
don't
people
want it.
opt out because they have this all GDPR and a lot of privacy based
But
regulations within.
the other what's gonna happen is then I mean it's like this, right? So it's the so essentially in that the app is free. We are not the customer. We are essentially the product, right? That's
Yeah,
what happens. We become the product
yeah,
in this paradigm. I mean, in this whole paradigm. So when so I mean, there has to be some repercussion, right? So you can't
yeah,
have the app for free and not be tracked as well.
yeah, yeah.
That doesn't really work. So then there'll be like paid options or something like that, right? So I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't mind at this moment. Like if they give me an
Yeah,
option,
it's
it's your data or
yeah. I
you
mean,
pay. I would probably pay and use
yeah.
WhatsApp
So
if they give me an option.
provided it's not like a massive amount, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
I
subscription
mean,
model.
I don't know, $2-3 per, not per month
So but
maybe.
that's the thing, it's the thing is there won't be any growth there, right? You can't really.
I mean, for them, it's probably more profitable to sell our data than to give a subscription model.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if I can remember when WhatsApp started, they charged $1 per year. That was the model, if I can remember correctly, when they
Oh,
initially
seriously?
started. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Before being acquired by Facebook. Initially, it had like, but they gave 1 year for free. That's how it went. I can remember when I
Oh, right.
installed WhatsApp. I think it was in 2014. I installed WhatsApp. It
Uh-huh.
was free
Okay.
for 1 year, and then
Mhm.
you had to pay $1. But $1 wasn't a big amount back then. Still, But somehow the
Yes.
Facebook acquisition went through, and this didn't apply after some time.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay, I can't remember that. I don't know.
Because
My
back then
memory
I
is
think
really bad.
initially it was Viber, which was pretty famous, and Viber was
Right.
replaced
Right.
by
Yeah.
WhatsApp during 2014-15 time period.
Right. I remember I had. I know I had WhatsApp. I think from the beginning, WhatsApp was like my go-to thing.
But yeah, it was in
I never had
2014.
Viber for some reason. Huh?
It was 2014, I think, because
Yeah, it was
I remember
2013, 2014.
arguing
Yeah,
with
that time.
people at the university that I would not install WhatsApp, and I was continuing to use Viber, and everyone shifted to WhatsApp, and then I had to shift to WhatsApp back then. I remember in
Right.
university, but I was
So
currently,
something recently,
yeah,
something like that happened to you
yeah,
recently as well, right?
yeah. But now I still haven't accepted the privacy policy, and
Let's see. I'm interested to see what happens.
yeah. What will happen is after 15th of May, if I don't accept, I think I won't be. I will be still be getting notifications for 2 weeks, but I can't access
Uh-huh.
the chats. And after the 2 weeks, my account will be deleted. That's what's gonna happen automatically.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So after 2 weeks, my account will be deleted. That means I'll lose all history, all data backups will be deleted. Like on if it's on cloud, it's everything's gonna get deleted after those 2 weeks. Or else I can
Right.
manually take my account. Like I can manually delete my account before the 2 weeks if I want. If I want, I can. Then
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. But yeah, those are
Wow.
the
See,
alternatives.
so I think we are at a sort of like a crossroad. I mean, what's going to happen, right? Because everyone was betting big on social media, right?
Mm.
Like what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I mean, social media was supposed to be the future, but with all these rules coming in, uh, Google will
Mm.
now have to do something of their own, right? So
Yeah.
Google
This
itself,
is this is what
yeah,
I'm this is
so
what I'm waiting for. If Google follows
uh,
Apple, then things will start to get interesting.
yeah, exactly. I mean, then you'll see, okay, what's gonna happen. Then there'll be like, so I
Because,
think I told this in a earlier vlog as well. Right? I mean, this we have we have this whole thing where Google, Facebook, Apple, and I think who was the other guy? I'm not sure who the other guy was. They are
Amazon.
all under a massive Amazon. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Amazon. Like they are all being investigated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they are. I have feeling the three Amazon, Apple, and Google are gonna gang up on Facebook, and they're gonna be like, these guys are bad. Just screw them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I mean, because if they're out, right? I mean, it's not gonna hurt them anyway, right?
The others, no, no.
There's no, I mean, nothing's gonna happen to them, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
they'll
yeah.
just carry on. And again, you can technically break up Facebook. You can easily do it, right? You can easily break up Facebook, but you can't easily break up Amazon. You can't easily break up
Yeah, yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
Apple, maybe you can, might be able to. I'm not sure,
It's still
but
it's similar to what Google is doing. Like it's kind of interconnected, but I mean, yeah, most of the time they still have a lot of product lines. You can divide them based on the product lines, but that's all, I guess.
yeah, that's about it. But Facebook, yeah, you got WhatsApp, make it a
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
company. Uh, Facebook, separate company. Instagram, separate company. I mean, you can easily break it up, right? It's just,
yeah.
it's just. I mean,
I
it's
just hope some
probably
kind of
just like
decision
a
comes
media
before
thing.
15th of May if possible. I feel they're gonna postpone again because people will be rushing to move to new platforms again. Like this will happen in the last last 5, 10, like 5, 7 days. It will start getting
Right.
warm again, and
And they're gonna be like, post, guys, just 15 more days. Time to
yeah,
switch, and there might be campaigns and stuff like that as
yeah.
well. So yeah,
So
let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I hope something happens before I have to, like, let's say, delete my account. If something good happens, then I won't, like, if it becomes optional, then I'll probably stay. But if
Uh-huh.
it won't become optional, then, like, because you, even if they change something later on, let's say 1, 2 months later, I still lose all my data. So
Mm-hmm.
like I lose all the chats that I've been in. I had to create an account from the beginning, and then I'll have to be added to all these chats if I'm my account is deleted, like if I'm creating an account later on. So
Oh, right. That
that,
also. So they remove you, right? So when you delete.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
even if
Okay.
I use the same mobile number to create the account, I'll be a new user, and then I have to be added to all the chats if I've been
Right.
in.
All the groups and all that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, all the
wow.
groups.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That sucks.
that's the hassle part of it. If I'm coming back later on,
Wow.
if something changes. But again, yeah, what to
Okay. Yeah. Let's see how that goes.
do? So let's.
Yeah. I think.
I think we have
Yeah.
some
I
more
think
time.
we do.
We,
We. Maybe. Yeah.
mm,
Let's see. I don't. No. I'm not sure. We would. Let's probably. I think it's about an hour, right? I think.
yeah,
Cross.
we did something close to now. I think. Okay, then
Yeah.
we'll keep
I think it's better.
the trending topics to another day. There were a few interesting topics,
Yeah.
but we don't have that much time to talk about it. So let's keep it
Yeah, I mean, if it's an interesting topic, it's no point. I mean, it's gonna be a waste of time. Just
yeah, because it's gonna take more time.
discussing it for a few minutes. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
take
yeah,
more time. It's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah. It's
like
gonna
one
take
and a
more
half
time.
hours, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Then let's finish the discussion for today. And we will be coming back in another week with another episode. Our schedule has changed a little bit after our vacation time period, but we'll still be
So
keeping
still,
uploading our content every week as much as we can, unless something else happens. So leave any suggestions if you have on these videos, if possible, and if you have any comments or feedback, you can send them to us on whatever platform you see these videos on. Yeah. So thank you for watching, Chandika. You have anything to say?
yeah. See you guys next week.
See you guys. See you. Bye bye. Take care.